I don't know, man. A lot of it is context. There's a lot of things I wonder if the world was different. Like if murder was legal, I might have killed a few people. I don't know. I'd love to think, oh, I would never do that. But we really need the law against murder. For one simple reason. The law against murder is the number one thing preventing murder. We'd like to think it's because, like, oh, I would never do that. No, it's because it really sucks getting caught murdering. A lot. If murder was legal, or just a misdemeanor, like you get a thing in the mail, oh shit, they had a camera there. Oh, well. If murder was legal, there would be so much murder. Regular people would murder. Murderers would murder even more. And then really nice, sweet people would murder a few people. But nobody would murder no people. You wouldn't trust somebody who didn't murder. If murder was legal, you wouldn't like them. I never killed anybody. Okay, nice meeting you. Ugh. What a creep. I mean, not even a hooker? Live a life. What's wrong with that guy? He's like a Mormon or some shit. I hate those guys. I think he's nice. Shut up, Janet. It would just... If murder was legal, there would be a lot of murder. Children would behave very differently. Because mostly parents would be murdering their own kids. That's mostly what would happen if murder was legal. You'd be, you go to a mall, there'd be like 8 different moms in the mall just, I told you to stop it! You didn't listen to me! You'd be stepping over dead kids. It'd be like a new problem. You have to clean up your kids when you kill them, because it's gross. It's bad for the environment. If you murder your child in a public place, please use one of the red bags that are in the dispensers every 3 feet of America. Put your murdered child in the red bag with a logo of a murdered kid on it. Next to the other logo that tells you not to let your alive kid play with a plastic bag because they might suffocate. In which case you could just leave them in the bag. That is a whole bunch of horrible thoughts right in a row. Right in a row. That is a compressed area of bad thought. Okay, like of course, children who have nut allergies need to be protected. Of course. We have to segregate their food from nuts. Have their medication available at all times. And anybody who manufactures or serves food needs to be aware of deadly nut allergies. Of course. But maybe if touching a nut kills you, you're supposed to die. Of course not. Of course not. Of course not. Jesus. I have a nephew who has that. I'd be devastated if something happened to him. But maybe, if we all just do this for 1 year, we're done with nut allergies forever. No, of course not. Of course, if you're fighting for your country and you get shot or hurt, it's a terrible tragedy. Of course. Of course. But maybe if you pick up a gun and go to another country and you get shot, it's not that weird. Maybe if you get shot by the dude you were just shooting at, it's a tiny bit your fault. Of course, slavery is the worst thing that ever happened. Listen, you all clapped for dead kids with the nuts. For kids dying from nuts, you applauded. So you're in this with me now. Do you understand? You don't get to cherry pick. Those kids did nothing to you. Of course, slavery is the worst thing that ever happened. Of course it is. Every time it's happened. Black people in America, Jews in Egypt, every time a whole race of people has been enslaved, it's a terrible, horrible thing. Of course. But maybe every incredible human achievement in history was done with slaves. Every single thing where you go, how did they build those pyramids? They just threw human death and suffering at them until they were finished. How did we traverse the nation with a railroad so quickly? We just threw Chinese people in caves and blew them up and didn't give a shit what happened to them. There's no end to what you can do when you don't give a fuck about particular people. You can do anything. That's where human greatness comes from, is that we're shitty people, that we fuck others over. Even today, how do we have this amazing microtechnology? Because the factory where they're making these, they jump off the fucking roof because it's a nightmare in there. You really have a choice. You can have candles and horses and be a little kinder to each other, or let someone suffer immeasurably far away just so you can leave a mean comment on YouTube while you're taking a shit. Thanks a lot, folks. You guys were great. Thank you very, very much. Thank you. Good. And I've wasted a lot of time just being angry at people I don't know. You know, it's amazing how nasty we can get as people, depending on the situation. Like, most people are okay, as long as they're okay. But if you put people in certain contexts, they just change. Like, when I'm in my car, I have a different set of values. I am the worst person I can be when I'm behind the wheel, which is when I'm at my most dangerous. When you're driving, that's when you need to be the most compassionate and responsible of any other time in your life, because you are fucking driving a weapon amongst weapons. And yet it's the worst people get. And I am the worst. One time I was driving, and there was a guy ahead of me, and he kind of, I don't know, he sort of drifted into my lane for a second, and this came out of my mouth. I said, worthless piece of shit. I mean, what an indictment. What kind of a way is that to feel about another human being? Worthless piece of shit. That's somebody's son. And things I've said to other people. I was once driving, some guy in a pickup truck I don't know, remember even? And I yelled out my window. I said, hey, fuck you! Where outside of a car is that even nearly okay? If you were in an elevator and you were like right next to a person's body and whatever, like he leaned into you a little bit, would you ever turn right to their face and go, hey, fuck you? Worthless piece of shit. No. Literally 0 people would ever do that. But put a couple of pieces of glass and some road between you, there's nothing you would not say to them. I hope you die! I said that to a person. I hope you die! Why? Because you made me go like this for half a second of my life. You tested my reflexes and it worked out fine! So now I hope your kids grow up motherless! I mean, what am I capable of? I'd like to think that I'm a nice person. But I don't know, I like getting older though. Life is an education, and if you're older, you're smarter. I just believe that. If you're in an argument with somebody and they're older than you should listen to them. It doesn't mean they're right. It means that even if they're wrong, their wrongness is rooted in more information than you have. They've been here longer. If you're older, you're smarter. How many people here by applause are 45 or older? 45 or older, applaud. Okay? That's about 60 people out of 2,400. Here's the interesting thing. There's way more. I can see you. There's so many more. This is Arizona. There are way more people in that demographic, but they didn't clap. Why? Because they're smart. They're sitting in the dark going, I don't have to clap. I don't have to do anything. They're not doing it. And they're right. You know why? Because never identify yourself. Never. Are you crazy? You don't know why I'm asking. How do you know what okay, burn them all. Burn everybody over 45. How do you know I'm not going to do that? How many people here by applause are 40 or younger? 40 or younger, applaud. That's every time. Woo! Woo! Every time. That is a weird thing to celebrate in a room where you're not the only people here. That's like going to a cancer ward. Not me. Woo! I don't have it. I don't have it. If you're older, you're smarter. A 55-year-old garbage man is 1,000,000 times smarter than a 28-year-old with 3 PhDs. Especially smarter than him. Because this idiot has been thinking about 3 things for like 15 years. He's worthless. The garbage man is 55. He's had some experience. Things have happened to him. He went to Cape Cod one summer. He saw a dead guy floating in the motel pool. He took a bus to Montreal. He got a hand job at a fair from a miner. I mean a miner. Not a minor, a miner. You understand? A miner. A grown man who works in a mine with dirty hands jacked him off at a county fair. That's what I'm saying happened to the 55-year-old. You see? He's had some experience. He knows more. More has happened to him. He's seen more. He's seen history. He's witnessed history, even if it's not ancient history. He saw Nixon resign on live television. Me and those few people that clapped, we saw the President of America cry and then quit being the president. That shit was crazy. Because none of us knew what was going to happen next. Today, people are like, the president's kind of disappointing. Really? Our president wept like an insane person and then got in a helicopter and flew away. And the whole nation just watched him go. When I was 10 years old, my parents got divorced. And my dad turned into a Jew. And, he converted to Judaism. He didn't turn into a Jew. It's not like my dad was like... He, converted to Judaism. And I had friends who were Jewish, and I knew that they had little clip dicks, little neat. And then I remembered my father's alligator claw of a penis. I really hate penises. That's really my problem with being gay. That's why I'm not gay. Men are fine. I'd like to have a boyfriend. That would be nice. I would. Every time I hear somebody say my boyfriend, I'm always like, I want a boyfriend. Why can't I have a boyfriend? I'd like to have a big, tall boyfriend. That's my boyfriend. I'm mad at my boyfriend. I get to wear his jacket. It's all big on me. I'm like, this is my boyfriend's jacket. I feel safe. I know I would like it. I would like to have a big dude in my life. Comes up behind me like this. I'm like, hi. Like, I know that would be nice. But in order to get all those parts, you have to have a fucking cock shoved up your asshole, like a hard dick ramming in your ass. Oh, fuck. Oh. I just wanted to wear your jacket. You're supposed to teach your kids right from wrong. I don't know, it's confusing, you know? Some people raise their kids religiously, and that kind of covers it. They kind of go, all this, do that. I'm not raising my kids religiously because I don't feel like it. Just get up on a Sunday. Fuck that. Fuck that. Let your souls rot, kids. I don't care. I'm not getting... Daddy, who's Jesus? None of your business. Go back to bed. But my kids, you know, they're living in the world, and there's a lot of religion in the world, so you do have to teach your kids, if you're not raising them religiously, you do have to teach them about religion, you know? I always tell my kids the same thing. I tell them that there are many religions in the world, and they're all equal, but the Christians are the main one. That's what I tell them. The Christians won. They're the winners, so act accordingly. Congratulate Christians when you meet them, because they won the world. And it's true. It's true. We love to tell ourselves, like, every religion is exactly... No, they're not. The Christians won everything a long time ago. If you don't believe me, let me ask you a question. What year is it? I mean, come on. What year is it according to the entire human race? And why? What year is it? Anybody, sir, just yell out the year. Thank you. 2016. No, it's 20. That's right. It's 2017. What is that? That's a number. It's not just any number. It must be a very important number because we're counting to it in unison as a species. For thousands of years, we've been going 1, 2, 3. Come on, everybody. 4. And now, come on, Africa. 5, 6. What is this number? We're counting the days. Since what? Since there was ever people, or since the sun did something? Not at all. It's been 2017 years since what? Anybody, yell it out. Yes, Christ! Christ! That's right. It's been 2017 years since Christ! Jesus! We are counting the days since Jesus together. Which makes sense if you're Christian, but what the fuck are the rest of us doing? Jesus was here, Jesus was here, Jesus was here. Everybody, scientists, historians, Jesus, Jesus. Jesus plus 2, Jesus plus 3, Jesus plus 4. Jesus plus 2017 years, 4 months, and 3 days is when your license expires. How is that not a win for the Christians? How is that not a complete win? That's not a Monday off in October.
That's there was no time before Jesus.
And the whole world's like, okay, sure. And then somebody was like, what about the years before him? There were billions, infinity.
Those go backwards.
You want us to measure most of history backwards? To accommodate one religion?
Uh-huh.
All right, we'll do it. It's fine.
We'll do it.
The whole world. You ever watch New Year's Eve around the world? They always show you like how every country celebrates. It's kind of cool. The first is one little island. It's the first place that's actually the place that it's the year. It's a little island in the Pacific. I forget what it's called, but the people, they do a little ceremony for New Year's Eve every year, and they just wear grass because they don't even have sticks yet. They're in the grass age. They have no clocks, but they do a dance.
2017.
And it goes around the world. Oh, it's a 2017. Oh, it's a 2017. Death to all Christians in 2017. The Jews are quietly keeping track. It's really 5,766, but that's for us. We're just, that's okay. We're just keeping track for when you snap out of it. It's all right. I'll write yours on my check. I don't want a problem. What about Chinese New Year? Yeah, what about Chinese New Year? All right. Next time you're doing your taxes, just write monkey where the year goes. Just put monkey. See what happens to your funds. No, it's 2017, year of our Lord. Jesus-y, a clock on the nose. And they made it up. That's the weirdest part, is they got to rename years that had already taken place. Because you know that's not what those years were. You know that, right? That the year 3 wasn't the year 3 during the year 3. Nobody was walking around back then. Hey, what year is it? It's 3. Yeah, but I'm 28. How can I be 28? There's only been 3. Oh, well, see, you were born in BC 24, and there's a 0. Remember it went backwards? Oh, shit, that was stressful. I hated those years. What was that like? What year is it? 10. What year is it now? 9. The fuck is gonna happen? My daughter's learning about Greek mythology, and she was asking me questions about it. She was like, Daddy, who's Achilles' mother? I said, I don't fucking know. Don't ask me that shit. I don't know who Achilles' mother is. Don't yell it out if you know it, please. It can't be amputees. Nobody cares what you know. She had a question about Achilles, and it was an interesting question, and I'll tell it to you. But first, the story of Achilles, real quick. Achilles was a baby. He was a Greek baby, and he didn't stay that way. But when he was a Greek baby, his mother, who was a goddess, took him into the river Styx, which is at Hades, the land of the dead, and she dipped him in the water of the river Styx because there was a magical quality to that water that it would make you impervious of any harm. You couldn't be hurt. It was like a shield, right? So she dipped him in that water to protect him. But she held him by the heel. That's the important detail. Held him by the heel, which is an awkward way to hold a baby. By the heel. Try holding a baby by the heel and dipping it in a river. You'll never see that baby again. That's how to get rid of a baby.
I lose the baby in the water. I was trying to wash him and he fell in the river. I'm sorry, Mr. Achilles, I lose your baby. You told me to hold him by the heel. He sleep.
Achilles' mother's a Mexican nanny. It's a lesser-known character in the Iliad. Anyway, his mother, she was able to hold on, of course, because she was a goddess. She was the goddess of grip or whatever, I don't know. And she held on, and then he was protected, except on his heel. His heel was not protected. And so that's what we call your Achilles heel, your one vulnerable place. Everybody's got their Achilles heel. Achilles' Achilles heel was his heel. Like literally. Anyway, so my daughter, here was her question. She said, how come his mother didn't just dip him again? She could have just dipped him one more time with the other leg in there. Did she just like you're right there? Was there like a sign that says one dip per goddess? Did you ever color an Easter egg? It's not that complicated. You dip it, and then you hold it differently and dip it again. Smart kid. I was proud of her. But at the same time, I thought, who the fuck are you to judge this woman? It bothered me. Because here's what the story of Achilles teaches me. Is that if you're a parent, it's never enough what you do for these motherfuckers. It's just never enough. It's still gonna be your fault. How much more do you want from a mother? She dipped her kid in magic water and protected 99% of his body. Is any of it up to him? He could have just wore a big shoe and be careful. But he goes out in sandals, fucking flip-flops, and a sword and fights the whole planet. I'm Achilles because my mother dipped me. Finally, somebody got him in the heel, and he's like, Mom! Thanks a lot, Mom! What's wrong, Achilles? My mom didn't dip my heel. She's so stupid, she ruined it. Fuck you, Achilles, you Greek dick. I hate the way people talk about their mothers. I was watching a football game one time, and this guy scored a bunch of shit, whatever, and they were excited. So they asked him about it afterwards. And the football player said, my mom died last year, but I know she was watching my game from heaven tonight. And I wanted to be there to say, leave your mother alone. How dare you? She's dead. I mean, when are you done with your fucking kids? When are you finished with your fucking kids? Even after you're dead, you still have to go to their fucking games and shit? Leave your mother alone. She did her job. She raised you and it killed her. I mean, let her enjoy heaven. Don't you want your mother to enjoy heaven? Isn't that what you want your mom to be, just in heaven? Whee! This poor woman, the angels are like, we're having an angel party. You want to come with us? I can't. I got to watch my son's games. He'll be very upset. Okay, good. He can't fucking hear me. Why am I doing this? I just think when people die, it means they did their jobs, and you should forget them. That's what I think. Because it's unfair what we put on dead people. Are you watching over me? Yes, I'm watching all of it. You know, like when you see an old couple, and they've been married for like 60 years. You know that kind of story? Everybody always loves that. The kind of people that always get applause based on the math of their lives. How long have you been married? 60 years. Oh. Isn't that automatically wonderful? How do you know? You just know how long it's been.
For 60 years, every morning he tells me I'm a piece of shit.
Well, let's just say this is a happy couple, okay? They love each other. They've been married for 60 years. That's longer than most people really want to be alive, and they've been together that long. And now they're just an old couple, and they just walk together. You know when you see two people? And it's kind of lovely. They don't need anybody else. It's just the two of them. This is both of them. They just walk. They always walk somewhere nobody walks there. There's trash. Trucks going. He's wearing a suit that is not a color. She's wearing a dress that's like a triangle, like a kid drew it. It's just fucking a dress with fruit on it. Nobody cares. And they just walk every day.
It's cold. Yeah, it's cold. You want to go to the store and get a cracker? Yeah, let's get a cracker at the store. Yeah, buy a yeah,
And then one day, usually he dies first. They're walking, and he goes, ah. Ah. And she says, Richard! Ah. Ah. Richard! Ah. And he dies. So now it's just her. Just Rose. And she's alone. Now she just stands in their house. Once in a while, somebody goes to get Rose because there's a wedding. Come on, Rose. Nadine's getting married. Nadine, it doesn't matter. Just fucking come on. Come on. Fuck, come on. Fuck. Just want to push her from. She lives 10 more years. 10 years after Richard dies. And then 10 years later, now she's laying in a bed. She's dying. Somebody's there with her on their phone. So Rose is dying, and she says, well, at least now I get to be with my Richard forever. Where'd she get that idea? Where did that come from? I've looked it up. No religion teaches that when you die, you get to ruin heaven for your dead spouse. Why is that fair? Who gets... Richard's been dead for 10 years. He's been in heaven for 10 years. And somebody comes up to him, hey, your wife is coming. What? Excuse me. What did you just walk up and say to me just now? Yeah, Rose just died. She'll be here in about 20 minutes. They just gotta hose her down and tape the wings on. And then you're gonna be together forever. Wait a minute. Fuck. You said this was heaven. Why is this... I have a girlfriend here now. I don't want to fucking... She's the love of your life. She's not the love of my death, motherfucker. You're